All right, gents, what's going on? It's Leonard. Sunday night. Just finished up some dinner with the wife. We're gonna go over our. We did a video last draft about the top 16. So I figure we do it again. We advance it a little bit, do a little bit more. I'm gonna introduce you to QBs a little bit. We're gonna do a top 16, and I'm gonna do a mock draft for the first 4 rounds. So, man, let's get right into it. First of all, I actually know. Thank you guys for paying early and volunteering for this, man. This is a good tournament. It's our third annual for Hermosa Beach, and I'm looking forward to it next Friday night. If you guys can make it, 7 p.m. At the draft, I'm Aloy's Bar in Hermosa. We're gonna meet at 7 o'clock, and then we'll draft at 7:30. So if you guys are in the area and want to come out and have a few beers, we got happy hour for a couple hours thanks to Jasper, and we're gonna just have a good time, man. The draft's usually a fun time. So here we go, man. For those who don't know the draft order, it's number 1 overall pick is Gunn, followed by Renee at number 2, Sean from Ballhawks at number 3, and Dennis from Ex-Cons at number 4. So I'll introduce you to them. Gunn, man. Gunn is your prototypical QB. He's tall, he's strong, he's handsome. He's probably got great credit, man. He's got a ton of arm. He can make any throw on the field. He can run around just a little bit, and I think he's got a lot of upside. He's young in the flag game, but he's learning. He's played in a couple different leagues now, so he's having a good time with it. One of his biggest downfalls is an inconsistent team. With Malloy's, they'll show up with 13 guys in week 1, and they're like us. With Arc and Reload, they'll struggle to get guys the rest of the season. So that's one of his biggest downfalls right there. But the dude's got a ton of upside. Number 1 pick last year. I think he took Lunny with the number 1 overall. So it's interesting to see what he does this time around. With the number 2 pick, Renee. I've said it before and I'll say it again 1,000 times. I think Renee is the best QB out there. Renee can make any throw on the field. He can move in the pocket. He can run around if you need him to. He can play safety as well as make guys miss when they got a solid rush on him. Renee's biggest downfall is his loyalty, man. He plays with us. He's been playing with us for about 10 years now. The same core of guys, the same group of guys, and we're not the same guys that we were back then. I think if you gave Renee any team out there that some of these QBs play on, he wins championship after championship. With us, guys who aren't as committed anymore, who got family and other things, my dog, he still makes us competitive week in and week out. So, and that's Renee, number 2 pick, man. Number 3 is Sean, man. Sean's actually our youngest QB in the draft. He is coming from Ballhawks. They played in Torrance, man, and he's the type of guy who made immediate impact on that team. That team went from being a mediocre 5-5 team, 4-4, throughout the season in Top Gun, to an automatic championship contender with Sean on that team. Sean is a strong, athletic kid who can make every throw that you need him to, and he's still learning. He's still learning the game. So I think this is going to be a good tournament for him to see how different guys click together. He's not going to know a ton of guys in the draft, but he'll know enough to, I think, make a huge impact. So yeah, that's Sean. And then we got Dennis at number 4. Dennis is the wily old vet of the group, man. Dennis is still doing it big. I think the dude's 92 years old, but he still can get down from time to time. I think Dennis is the most accurate touch pass thrower that we have in that league. He doesn't have a laser rocket arm like he used to. He can still make the deep ball throws, but he's going to put him on a spot, man. He's going to drop a dime on you. He's going to float it over you, put it exactly where it needs to go. He may not be as mobile as used to, but he still makes you miss in that pocket, man. He's got good hips. He can dip and duck and dive and dodge, and he's going to do that all day for you. So there you go. There's your 4 QBs, man. Let's roll right in the top 16. Let's get it done. So this is I switched it up this year. Last year, my top 16 was based on how I think the draft was going to go. We didn't have a draft order when I did the video. But so this year, my top 16 is going to be like a Mel Kiper big board. It's going to be your best athletes on the field. It's 1 through 16 guys who I think are ballers and can make a difference on the team, and I'll tell you why. And then we'll go into the mock draft. The number 4 is based on the picks, the QBs that I know, and how their game reflects with the players. So we'll get into it there. Number 1 overall, man, I got Trey from Ballhawks. Trey from Ducks, man. He is a straight-up baller on both sides of the field. The dude can run around with anybody. He's great with the run after catch. He can shake you out your shoes. He can scoot. He's fast, and he can cover anybody that you ask him to. There's very little downside to Trey's game. I think the biggest downside is that he has been with the Ducks for his entire flag football career, which is actually changing this season. He's going to be with Jane Danger out in Downey, tough Downey. So I think that's going to be huge for him. It's going to do nothing but positive things for him, man. Getting that exposure and different feel for different guys playing. And so I got Trey at number 1. At number 2 on my big board, I got Johnny, man, from Reload from Arc. If you ever played against us, man, you know who Johnny is. I guarantee it. He's the guy who you don't think is going to go up and get it. He's the guy who think you're going to have him locked up, and all of a sudden he's mossing you, or he's making a great catch on the sideline. The dude makes plays all day long. That's all he ever does. And he does the little things too, which is hard for a playmaker to do. He pulls flags. He just coverages. He'll rush if you need him to. He'll do everything. And he does it at a high level. So Johnny's my number 2. And number 3, I got Porky, man. And as everybody knows, last Hermosa Draft Journey Part 2, Porky was our MVP. Porky is a guy who's going to take that ball on a 5-yard pass, and he's going to scoop for 30 yards, man. Porky is going to make everybody on the field look ridiculous. All you got to do is be patient, try and hope you pull a flag, hope he's close enough to you. He's got very quick feet. He's got great moves. And he can rush for you too, which is a little bit different. Usually if you have a stud wide receiver, he's a DB, he's a coverage guy. But Porky's one of those guys that can get in the middle and get down and dirty with you in the trenches. So Porky's number 3. I think obviously those 3 guys are interchangeable depending on your style of throwing, the style of play. So, but number 4, who is right behind him, is Randall. And Randall from Ex-Cons is a guy that we've been trying to expose to the game in other leagues for a couple seasons now with Arc or with Reload. The dude can go up and get it with anybody, man. He's so deceptive in his movements. He's so quick. He's got that dead leg stop, that one jerk, bam, move, and 1-2 step you out at your shoes. He's a guy who can go both ways for you. Can cover anybody. He's a much better safety than he is a corner. He's not going to give up the deep ball very often. And he, at the point of the ball, man, he's one of the most competitive guys out there. So I got Randall from Ex-Cons at number 4. So that clears my top 4 right there. Following up, my next one's at number 5. I actually have Ochoa. Ochoa has always been and always will be a baller, man. Ochoa is another guy like Porky, except he's a little bit longer and taller. He's a guy who can take a 3-yard route and make it go the distance. He's very shifty. He's very good with his hips. He's very good with his movements. Ochoa can play both ways for you. His defense is usually a direct reflection of his offense. If you get him the ball and get him going on offense, get him woofing, get him involved in the game, it's only going to make his defense that much better. It's only going to bring out more competitiveness in him. He's the type of guy who needs the ball and wants the ball, and he can absolutely make an impact for you on both sides. So I got Ochoa at 5. And number 6, man, I got Miles Bam Bam Johnson. Now, I'm a huge Miles Johnson fan, man. That dude is a baller in my eyes. He's not only shifty on offense, can run hard, clean routes, got good hands, but he's going to lock you down on defense, too. The only time he's ever mismatched is when you got a 6-foot-plus player who can jump, which is, I don't know how many times, but he's still going to stay with you. He's still going to make you make a tough catch. I'll never forget one of the times we played Ball Hawks and Torrance Top Gun, man. Miles took a 5-yard out route on me, and instead of traditionally turning it upfield and making a move like any other person would, facing the end zone you're running at, Miles catches it on the out route and dead legs and just starts running backwards, 15 yards downfield. And I was completely baffled. I thought he was going out of bounds. All his momentum, everything about it said this dude's going to catch a 5-yard out, maybe get 6 or 7 yards if he turns and reaches. But he doesn't. He dead legs it on the left side and just sprints downfield backwards at about 15 yards. And it was one of the most athletic and innovative plays that I've ever seen. I would never think to run backwards. I'm trying to turn and cut up field and maybe make a guy miss, but no, not him, man. And that's the type of playmaker he is, the type of guy he is. So number 6, I got Miles. Number 7, Clarence. Man, Clarence has done nothing but get better since he stepped on this field, man. Clarence went from a guy on offense he's always been fast, always been a speedy guy who can cover just about anybody. But he used to be on offense a 50-50 ball guy, right? What Clarence are you going to get? Was he going to drop it? Is he going to make the catch? Who knows? If it's wide open, he's usually going to drop it. If he's covered, he might make it. But now, man, since joining Tough and getting on a couple different teams and Top Gun, he's just improved. He's got great hands now. He's fast. He can scoot. And like I said, he's a lockdown corner, man. He can run with anyone. So at number 7, I got Clarence. At number 8, I have Will. Will is actually our only back-to-back 2-time Hermosa Beach champion. So Will's looking to make it a 3-peat, 3 for 3. Will's fast. We brought him out to Tough this past season in Downey. And he improved a ton. He got a little bit more of exposure than just the Hermosa league. He sees how flag football is played on a different level now, a little bit faster, a little bit quicker. Guys are a lot more talented, and he's done nothing but compete the whole way through, man. He's a guy who take a 6-yard slant for you and scoot 30, 40 yards, and he's a guy that can make just a couple catches for you at 12, 15 yards, you know. So and he can cover a lot of guys, man. He's a great coverage guy. That's where he gets it. The only knock on Will, I think, is what kind of effort are you going to get from him. Sometimes he can get very complacent during the game. Sometimes he can just kind of sit there and not be competitive. So. But if you keep him engaged, you keep him in the game, and you keep on his ass, man, he's going to be a great player for you. So at number 8, I got Will. At number 9, I have Chaz. And Chaz is a big body, man. He's a tight end style guy. He's like a Jimmy Graham, Antonio Gates style guy, who is just a red zone monster. If you get him the ball anywhere near the end zone, he's gonna score for you. He's gonna go up and get it. He's a huge body in the middle. He's got good hands, and he's nothing but effort all day long. Chaz is the type of guy you'll see him on the ground a lot on Saturday. He's diving, juking, he's moving, he's doing things outside of his norm. He'll give you everything he's got all day long, and it's pretty damn good. He's also a guy who can. He's not great at rushing, but he's good at rushing. He's a big body, but he's an impact guy in the middle. In the middle range, he's such a long range. He's such a big guy. That can move very well, so he makes a huge impact in that middle. So number 9, I got Chaz, man. At number 10, I have Ryan. That's actually my 3rd Titans in a row, so kudos to Titans. Ryan is a guy, man, who is just heart. I mean, heart all day long. The dude runs some of the hardest routes I've ever seen. I mean, he is always head down pumping, and you don't know which direction he's going to go. If he's going to stop on a dime for you, or if he's going to post it and then corner it for you. He's just that type of guy, man. He gives you nothing but effort all day long. He's got good hands. He's very competitive at the point of the ball, especially in traffic across that middle, where some guys tend to shy away from it. Ryan doesn't, man. Ryan goes and gets it for you. And he can play just about anything you need on defense. He's not a great coverage guy, but he's really good. He's not a great rusher, but he's actually pretty good. And at safety, he can float around and make some plays. And he's definitely a good flag puller. So, yeah, at number 10, I have Ryan running on my top 10 there. At number 11, I have Derek, who was he played for Reload a little bit this season. Normally with Ducks and Tough. He played with us for a little bit. I have a miscellaneous bracket because he didn't finish the season with us. Kind of got lost in the sauce. He's got work or something going on the weekends a lot of times. But he's going to be there on Saturday. And Derek is the guy, man. I like Derek's game. He's a speedy little guy. He's got good hands, good coverage, but more importantly, man, he's very, very intelligent and very, very smart on defense. When we first met and we were putting together our defense, I kind of explained to him the calls that I make and the things that I try to expose on defense. I mean, he picked it up like that, and he instantly got it and instantly made an impact on what we were doing. So he's a very, very intelligent, very intuitive guy when it comes to the flag game, which is hard to do. You know, a lot of guys, we all come from the tackle football side where the game's a little bit different. But he's the type of guy who can make an impact for you immediately. He's going to listen to you, and he's going to help your defense out no matter what. So number 11, I got Derek. And number 12, actually, for those of you guys, I forgot to tell you guys, we've had 2 dropouts in the last 48 hours. That's why this video is so late Sunday night. I apologize. But we've had Steve Penna from Titans, the center from Titans, drop out. He's taking his mom to Disneyland next weekend. So big up to moms, man. Family first, always, man. Love you, Steve. Hope you guys have a great time. And we had Tim Jacobs drop out. Timmy, he's going down to play in a TJ tournament with Juice and all those guys, probably Mondo and those guys from Tough and whatnot. So hopefully they can bring it home for you. But Tim's going down to TJ. So we kicked him, and not kicked him out, but him and Steve dropped out. So we actually picked up Travis and Curtis Johnson. They're brothers. They play with Moxie Boys. Both ballers. Both guys who are vets of the game, and they've been around. And so, at number 12 here is where I got TJ, Travis Johnson, from Moxie. Man, the dude, he's a lot like Ryan from Titans, but a little bit shiftier. Ryan's more of a straight-ahead runner. TJ's more of a shifty guy. But he's going to give you hard routes all day long. He's going to give you a hard, deep out route. He's going to give you hard posts. He's going to take that ball at 5 yards. He's going to scoot for 30 or 40 yards. So Travis type of guy, he can go both ways for you too. He's a pretty good coverage guy, not a great coverage guy, but he can stick with you. And if anything else fails, he's gonna pull a flag. He rarely misses flags. So yeah, I got Travis at number 12 filling in that spot. At number 13, I have DeAndre from the Titans, which is actually my 4th Titans, man. When they show up, they're pretty good. But DeAndre is a guy who I still to this day think he's underrated. We haven't seen him in Hermosa in a couple seasons. I don't know exactly why, but we haven't seen him in a while. But he's out there in Tough League in Mid-City was the last time I saw him playing with Pegasus. and dude's an impact player. He can cover anybody. He's got good hands as a receiver. He's not gonna make a ton of guys miss, but he's solid, and he's gonna give you what you need all day long. And he's very, very underrated in my opinion. He'll stay with you on any single route that you try to run. He's very patient corner, and he's good at the point of the ball. So number 13, I got DeAndre. At number 14, I have Miles Medeiros from Moxie, man. And I'm a big fan of Miles. I like him. I think if he showed up more for Moxie or in any other league, I think he would do nothing but ball for you day in and day out. He's a long rangey guy. He's athletic. He's got good speed, good hands. Yeah, his problem is he doesn't play often. You know, he has work or whatever else he's got to do in this world. I dig it. You get to pay bills, Daddy. And I think if you ever got Miles out on a full season, man, he'd be close to that MVP status and definitely jump a lot of spots in this draft. So I got Miles at number 14. Number 15, I have Skinner. Skinner's an athletic dude, man. He just is. I know a lot of guys are like, what? Skinner? I'm like, no, man. Skinner. I'll take Skinner any day of the week. Skinner is got good speed. He's got good hands. He understands the game. He's a competitor most of the time. Now, Skinner's one big knock is that what kind of effort are you going to get from him? If it's a blowout, Skinner tends to just kind of ease up. He's not necessarily going to give you all he's got. If he doesn't feel like he's making an impact, he's going to give you a little bit of a less of an effort. But, I mean, we went down to San Diego, and we had a great connection. We won that tournament last year. For what was that league? Flight Action Sports. So I think Skinner's a baller. I got him here at number 15. Good hands, good speed. He's a guy who's he knows the game very well, so he's gonna make an impact for you. Definitely at number 15. So and then number 16, round out my top 16, I got Andy from Malloy's, man. Andy is similar to a lot of these guys in that 10 to 15 range. He's a guy that hasn't been exposed to the flag game very much. He's fairly new. He's been playing for a couple seasons now with Malloy's, but not consistently, not every week, not week in and week out, not making him for whatever reason. But he's a guy who makes an impact when he's out there, man. He's a big body in that middle, especially for a gun guy. He's got good hands. He's a big, strong kid. He struggles with the block a little bit, and that's just being new to the game. Blocking is a little bit different, especially in the flag game, when someone's coming full speed at you from 5-6 yards, you know. But he's great on offense. He can run any single route you need him to, and I think over time he's gonna be nothing but a baller. So there you go, man. There's my top 16. I'll run through real quick again. Like I said, this is not necessarily how I think the draft is gonna go. This is just straight up best athletes on the board. As you can tell, I obviously didn't put my name on there. I think it's a little weird when guys talk about themselves. I think I fall somewhere between the 7 and 12 guy, depending on athletes. A lot of these guys are better athletes than I am. I'm a little bit older now, and the cardio ain't what it's supposed to be. And I also have 2 wild cards here. I got Thomas Ruiz, who's actually Renee's boy. Renee is really hyped up on this dude. He thinks he's a fast, quick guy, a guy who's really shifty with the balls in his hands, can run after catch. So I think that guy can make an impact. I've never seen him play, so I can't really comment on it, but I got him right here on my paper. And another guy I have from the Tough League is Jesse Ferguson. And actually, Jesse, me and him we became like best friends over the last 3 days, man. We're texting all the time. We're talking trash. We're going back and forth and making jokes on guys. And I really like him from just that interaction there. But he comes very highly touted from Joey Delatorre from the Ducks, as well as Clarence from the Bears and from ARC with us. They both say he's a real good receiver. He's not a guy who's going to fly by you or make big-time plays upfield, but he's a guy who's going to get lost in the defense. He's going to find those holes he needs. He's a sure-handed guy, and he can make some moves after he's got the ball in his hands. So he's a consistent guy, which is key in a tournament where you don't really know the guys you're playing with. That consistency, that can make a huge impact, and that's the type of guy he is from what I understand. So there you go. So, again, I got 1 through 16 here. I got Trey, Johnny, Porky, Randall, Ochoa, Bam, Clarence, Will, Chaz, Ryan, Derek, TJ, DeAndre, Miles from Moxie, Skinner, and Andy. And then I got my 2 wild cards there, and Thomas Ruiz and Jesse Ferguson. So hopefully that helps my quarterbacks out a little bit more. Hopefully guys like to see their names up in the highlights, and it makes the draft go a little bit better. Like I said, we're drafting next Friday, 7 p.m. At Malloy's Bar in Hermosa Beach. If you're available, man, come out and have a beer with us at least for a round or 2. Come hang out. We're gonna have happy hour for a while, and it's always a good time, man. We usually get about 15 guys out there, just hanging out, talking shit, and having fun. So Now I'm going to run through the first 4 rounds, how I think it's going to go based on the draft order. Again, it's Gunn number 1, Renee number 2, Sean from Ballhawks at 3, and Dennis at number 4. And I think just based off that, this is what I got on the big board, what I got in the mock draft style. So we'll see it. So let's start it off, man. At Gunn at number 1, Gunn is known to be a little bit of a wild card. He's a fairly new quarterback. He knows a lot of the guys now. Last term he took Lunny at number 1 and followed up with Leandre from ex-Cons, who is a good athlete. But at the number 2 pick, I don't think it's a real solid shot. So at number 1 pick this draft, I think Gunn jumps down one spot and takes Johnny. And I say that because Johnny is just is a lot like Lunny, just a little bit younger. He's a guy who can run a good, strong route for you. He's going to be where you need him to be, and he's going to make a play for you at the point of the ball. And that's the type of quarterback Gunn is. Like I said, he's tall, he's strong, he can make any throw on the field. He likes those post routes. He likes that fade down the sideline and that stop right on the edge of the pylon right there. So I think with him and Johnny, man, I think it's a huge impact. I think that's a big body he needs to stretch the field. And so I think he jumps to Johnny number 1, which drops Trey down. Even though I got him at number 1, I got him falling to number 2 at Renee. Now I think Renee, even though him and Porky straight up balled last tournament, Trey and Renee have a very, very good connection with each other. They know each other very well, and they've been playing with and against each other for a while now. And I think right there at the number 2 spot, if Gunn does jump and take Johnny, I think that Renee takes Trey right there. It's a tough pick. It's a 50-50 right there. You're either going to take Trey or you're going to take Porky right there, no matter what. So we'll see what happens on Friday night. It's going to be interesting 2 rounds, but I think Renee takes Trey right there. They got a great connection. They got good chemistry together. So there it is. And now Sean at number 3. Now Sean's a wild card. Like I said, Sean is he's fairly new to the flag game, and more importantly, he's definitely new to Hermosa. So I think he's going to go with more guys he thinks are comfortable with, and I think it's going to be interesting to see if the first 2 are Johnny and Trey, 1 and 2. Then it's going to be interesting to see what he takes at number 3. But right now, if I'm Sean, I'm taking Porky. Porky's the type of guy, like I said, especially for a brand new QB, a guy who hasn't been around long enough. Porky's the type of guy who you can, when you get in trouble, you can dump it off to, and he's going to take a 3-yard pass and scoot 60 yards. And that's huge for a young QB, especially a guy who doesn't know a whole lot of guys, to build that little bit of trust. Here, take that dump, get 7 yards. Here, take that dump, get 15 yards. All right, cool. Now I got that. Now I can expose somebody downfield because they played up and 15 yards right across the middle. You know what I'm saying? So I think Sean should take Porky right there if he's available. It's going to be nothing but impact for him. But you never know. He might jump up and take someone he knows more importantly. Oh, and for guys, I apologize. For those who are new to the draft, we have a rule that the QBs cannot draft their own team in the first round. So Gunn can't take anyone from Malloy's. Renee can't take anyone from Reload. Sean can't take anybody from Ballhawks. And Dennis can't take anybody from ex-Cons. So it kind of changes up how you draft. So even if, let's say, Gunn took Trey at number 1 overall, Renee couldn't take Johnny at number 2. He would fall automatically to Sean at number 3, or if Sean passed him up and got someone else, he would fall to Dennis at number 4. So there it is. Just so you guys know that. And you can't draft from the same team or same pool in back-to-back picks. So if Sean takes Porky from the miscellaneous bracket at number 3, he can't pick from the miscellaneous bracket again until his 3rd pick overall. So in the 2nd round, he's going to have to take from somebody else. It's just a way we like to mix it up, especially in a smaller tournament, more enclosed. It's a way to get guys to get outside of their comfort zone and not necessarily play with their own team, right? We don't want guys drafting their own team just all day, every day. So there it is. But anyway, so I got Johnny going number 1, Trey number 2 to Renee, Porky to Sean at number 3, and this is where it gets interesting. This is why I bring up the rule, is because that leaves Randall at number 4 with Dennis. But Randall and Dennis play together. They're both ex-Cons, so he can't take Randall at number 4. Now, it's okay because he has back-to-back picks at 4 and 5. So right here, I think Dennis reaches up. If Sean doesn't, I think maybe if Sean gets me at number 3, but right here I think Dennis gets me at number 4. Me and Dennis have played together for a while. We spent a couple of seasons together playing. I helped him out a lot. We got good chemistry. We know where we're going to be at. He's the type of quarterback who can put it on a spot for me and let me go get it. So I think he jumps up and takes me at number 4 right there, but then follows it up to start the 2nd round at number 5 and takes Randall. And I say that because him and Randall already play together. They have a great chemistry. They have a great 1-2 step together. And I think with me and Randall sitting there, Randall at the safety spot, me at a rusher, I mean, there you go. And I look for 2 corners later on down the road. And even then, we're 2 guys who can play corner if we needed to, depending on how this draft unfolds. So I think he takes me at number 4 to finish out the first round. And then I think he takes Randall at number 5 to start the second round. And that means Sean's back on the board. And I told you Sean's a wild card, but he's also, I think he's going to go with guys he's familiar with, guys he knows who can play. And right here, I think a good pick for him, especially if he has Porky, a guy he can dump it to. I think right here he takes Clarence at number 6. I think it's a great pick for him. It's a guy he knows, he's seen play, he knows what to expect from him. It's a guy who can, more importantly, can stretch the field for him. Clarence can run with anybody, he can outrun anybody. You put Clarence on a post and have Porky underneath, man. I mean, pick your poison on the defense. Do you want to stop the deep ball, or do you want to hopefully pull a flag on Porky? It's 50-50 at that point. So I think he jumps right there and takes Clarence at number 6 overall, which leaves Renee at number 7 to pick. I got him picking Ochoa. If he gets traded in the first round, a guy who is going to run solid routes for him all day and be able to get open at any point, I think he takes Ochoa right there. Not only does that sew up your 2 corner spots on defense, but it's also your 1-2 combo that you kind of look for in an offense. A guy who can stretch the field and run routes, and a guy who can go underneath and make people miss. Ochoa is a very, very, very good mid-level route runner. Anywhere between 5 and 15 yards, man, Ochoa is going to find a way to be open, and more importantly, he's going to find a way to make a guy miss off the point of the ball. He's going to run a big looping in-out, and he's going to catch the ball, and then he's going to stop on a dime and make you miss. So I think Renee takes Ochoa at number 7 right there if he's available. Which closes out Gunn in the second round. And Gunn, like I said, is Gunn and Sean are 2 guys who are it's gonna be interesting to watch them pick all day. But right here, I think he takes Chaz at number 8, man, and that's a heck of an offense. Chaz and Johnny on offense is gonna be very, very hard to stop. Johnny can stretch the field. Chaz can stretch the field. They both have outstanding hands, especially for a quarterback who can make any throw, who can put it in tight spots with a good hard throw. I think that's a heck of an offense. And Chaz can also play the middle for you. So I think to close the second round, Gunn jumps, takes Chaz. And then opening up the third round, I think he gets his secondary corner, and I think he takes Miles Bam Bam Johnson right there. I think with those 3 right there, offense is going to be very, very hard to stop. Defensively, Gunn can play safety for him, so he's got Johnny, he's got Bam on the outside, him up top, and then he's got Chaz sitting in the middle. They might not be able to rush a whole lot of people just yet. However, they're going to be able to stop a whole lot of teams. Miles is going to fly around and make plays for him, pulling flags. Chaz can pull flags across the middle. Johnny and Bam can lock up anybody. So that's what I got. I got him open up the third round with Miles Johnson, my dog again, Squirrels. Which Renee, now coming back to Renee at the number, 10 pick now. I got him taking Will. Now he's got Trey, he's got Ochoa, he's got Will, and that's a hell of a secondary, man. It's a very fast offense as well as 3 guys who can lock up anyone. Ochoa's a good coverage guy. Trey's obviously an awesome cover guy. And Will's been nothing but an impact player since coming over to Tough League. So I think Renee takes Will number 10 in the third round, which puts Sean back on the board. Now I've got Sean taking Porky, and I've got him taking Clarence. And Sean can play safety for you too. So Sean can play the middle. He can play corner if you needed him to. But I think his true natural home is safety or that middle range. So with that said, though, I think right here he takes Ryan. Now he's got Porky, who he can dump to. He's got Clarence, who can stretch the field and make plays for him. And now he's got Ryan from Titans, who is going to be a good hard route runner. He's going to be where he tells him he's going to be. He's not one of those guys like, hey, I'm going to run a post, and then runs a freaking out route. And you throw the post like, what the hell just happened, man? Oh, well, he was covered. No, if Ryan tells you he's going to run a post, he's going to run a damn post. If he tells you he's going to run a big stop, he's going to run a big stop. So I think with that guy, having that consistency, that sheer-handed guy who's going to give you effort all day long, it's going to be nothing but impact for him. So, yeah, I think Sean takes Ryan right there. It's a good, smart move for him. It's a guy who can, like I said, can be comfortable and more consistent for a young QB. So, and then now we're back to Dennis. Dennis at number 12 here, closing out the third round. Actually haven't taken TJ right here. Travis Johnson from Moxie. They've played together a couple times before. Travis can be the guy that he dumps to and scoots for him. He's already, if all goes according to what I'm seeing here, he's going to have me, he's going to have Randall, now have TJ. So TJ can also play safety for us. He can also play middle for us. He's a good coverage guy. And more importantly, on offense, this is where Dennis makes his impact. Dennis don't play defense. So he's looking to build an offense that can score. If he can outscore you, it doesn't matter what you do. So I think he takes TJ right there. He's a good strong hand guy. He can make you miss. He can scoot downfield when you need him to. So close out third round, I got to take TJ. And then opening the fourth round, to finish off his offense, to finish off his the way he likes to play ball, I think I'm taking Marcus. Marcus has played center for him for a while now. Marcus can block for you. He can chip and release for you. He's got good hands. He's an athlete. He's going to be exactly where you tell him to be, and he's going to make plays for you all day long. He's nothing but effort and athleticism. So I think him knowing Marcus, him playing with Marcus, being comfortable with him, I think he takes him right there. I think he's taking him, and he took him in the first draft. I know last year I took Marcus in the draft last year about this spot. I think he's going to make an impact for Dennis, so there he is right there, which brings back Sean back on the board. And now he's got Porky, he's got Clarence, he's got Ryan, and now I got him taking Derek from Ducks and Reload / miscellaneous bracket. So with Derek, man, he gets a good corner. So now he's got another good coverage guy to go with Clarence. He's got Porky in the middle, and he's got Ryan who can play the middle, and then him at safety. So now you have a very good offense with guys who you can work around and get consistency with, as well as a very consistent defense. Now, who's going to call that defense? I don't know. We'll figure that out later. Clarence is a smart kid. He can probably call that defense for him. But that's going to be an athletic team that can make plays on both sides of the ball and be consistent at that. So I got him taking Derek right there at the number 14 pick in the fourth round. And then right here at the number 15 spot, I have Renee taking his boy Thomas Ruiz. Now, I could be completely wrong about this one, but from what Renee's told me, he's a good athletic guy who can scoot with the ball in his hands. He's very good with the run after catch. And so I think this is where Renee picks him. I don't think, and even then, I think Thomas might fall a little bit just because guys don't know him, kind of like Jesse. But at the same time, I think Renee jumps and gets him right here. He's a good kid with the ball in his hands, and he rounds out his defense a little bit more. I guess he can do it all on the defensive side of the ball. So there you go. So then at number 16, closing out, last and final pick for me tonight, I have Gunn. I told you he's a guy who likes familiarity. He's got Johnny, he's got Chaz, he's got Bam, and now I think he might take a guy like Andy. A guy like Andy for him, with him and Chaz and Johnny, I mean, that's a heck of an offense. I think you can have Andy snap the ball with Miles Johnson in the slot, Chaz running somewhere, and Johnny running somewhere, and now you also have a good defense. You have Andy who can, he's not a great rusher, but he's a big body with him and Chaz maybe double rushing. I mean, it's going to be hard for QBs to have any time to throw the damn ball. They're just too strong and big bodies who can make an impact immediately. So I think he gets familiar with the guy. I think he takes Andy right there. I wouldn't be surprised if he jumps up and takes Jasper somewhere in between there. Jasper's his center throughout the season, so he might be able to do that. Like I said, Gunn's a little bit of a wild card, but I got right there. I got to take an Andy with the first and final pick. So those are my first 4 rounds, man. That's how I have it going. Like I said, I've been around these QBs, and it's just what I see that would benefit all of them as far as athleticism and the way they play the game. So just to recap, I got in the first round, I got Gunn, Renee, Sean, and Dennis. I got them taking Johnny, Trey, Porky, and Dennis taking myself at number 4. So from second round, I have Dennis taking Randall, Sean taking Clarence, Renee taking Ochoa, and Gunn taking Chaz. And then I have in the third round, I have Bam going off the board, Will, Ryan, and TJ. And then in the fourth and final round that I did tonight, I've got Marcus, Derek, Thomas, and Andy. So we'll see how it all shakes up, man. Like I said, let's join us Friday night at the draft, 7 p.m. At a Malloy's Bar. We'll be going live about 7:30 for those of you that can't make it. I will send out a link this week, probably by like a Wednesday, that you can click on about 7:30 p.m. and we'll be exposed. You'll see us live and at the bar having a good time. Hopefully you can hear us. We'll be a little bit drunk, so I apologize ahead of time for anything stupid we say. But anyways, that's it, boys. Cheers, and we'll see you guys on Friday, huh?